all Americans, all black Americans, I don't recommend you come over here. Stay your black ass in America then, man. All Americans, all black Americans, I don't recommend you come over here because all of y'all are not gonna be good representatives to come over here. It's just facts. Like bro was just saying about his own, cause you say tomorrow, right? He was saying that about his tribe, but like, man, all of them ain't good. All of them basically not gonna be able to come. You're not invited because you might be some of the people who gonna fuck up the good thing that we trying to establish. And we got a lot of that where I'm from too, man. Like y'all who stuck on that European mind state that think white is right, and you know what I'm saying? You so used to the American way of doing things. You're not open-minded. You're not ready to just experience people culture in a respectful way. You just so used to doing things the way you used to it. Stay your black ass in America then, man. And I mean that. Now the ones who gonna show love and respect, who gonna come here with an open mind, basically with a similar energy as me, knowing that this is our family, we just been separated from circumstance, this is where you want to be. But if you just come here as a typical tourist and you just want to turn up and spend some money, you could do that. But I don't know, you could do that shit anywhere, low key, yeah. But I gotta make an extensive video about, cause what you said is deep, bro. That shit is real.
Yeah, bro. That shit goes deep, bro. Like imagine the Mara people were forced to go back. And then imagine these guys have sheep, cows. They used to do cows, but now they can't do cows anymore because
it was taken away from them even.
Yeah.
It's not a thing of
the
they
knowledge.
Do it. Not the knowledge. I think they still do have it. It's embedded deep into the people. Certain things, even if the European approach towards it, over time people will revert back towards the old ways. I understand we're never going to be the same ever.
Yeah,
we're never going to be the same.
We've been changed a little bit.
Say, like, and somehow it's also just because,
especially us.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of altering that happened there. But I'm just saying, well, we'll never be the same, but we will have to twist this in a fashion where it consider us as being beings that can express ourselves in our own sense of existence. Yeah, having our own expression. Yes, we're European right now. I'm speaking as Donovan. That's the name that I got and all that stuff. But the root is
that's crazy. His name Donovan too. That's wild as hell.
So it's indigenous, man. And I'm starting to recognize what being indigenous is. You know, and I want to do it everywhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to travel the world and just show people my interpretation of what life can be, having to come out of the state of mind of what is known as present day Namibia. But there's a whole lot to it.
That you don't
and even
know.
Even me having to come from my own people, I also just learned certain things from certain people having to tell me that. It was so, how should I say, it was so confined. The information is also so limited to the point where, you know, obviously people who held that knowledge and that wisdom over time were being executed. So how do you really get towards knowing yourself even when you're being forced to be in a certain type
It's
of
hard to
culture.
keep it when they trying to stop you from practicing it and celebrating it and all that.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say, cause you said something about that the other day when you were saying like it's almost like they take a CPU and put different programming in
Apple
it.
into Windows.
Yeah. And literally that's what it is.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but you
well,
know
the
how I'ma say it, cause we have a saying over there for how they did us once they took us from Africa. It's like a cow born in a pig pen is still a cow. So it's like no matter if you take them to another land, you put them around different people in different environment, it still needs to eat like a cow. It still has cow sensibilities. It's not gonna one day wake up and start eating like a pig and still, be the same and thrive and function. So it's like you do have to get in tune with who you are originally and your roots. And the same for the brothers, like he's saying, man.
So like even with that having to say like what is it, Windows on Apple?
Yeah.
Obviously the hardware will not function the way it should if it was
Exactly.
Macintosh.
Exactly.
So now in a certain sense, we are operating in a European standpoint rather than African, and in that sense it makes us dysfunctional to a certain extent.
Hell yeah.
Hence where you find us having to react, having to come out in a certain sense, and we come off as barbaric while we are living by European standards.
Exactly.
How do you want me to react in a nature that I'm not even from? You get what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Obviously, I'll be hostile. Because
You put me in this foreign position that I'm not used to, and now you surprised because I don't just act accordingly and just act like this is natural. This shit ain't natural for me.
I'm not even keeping up with my way of expression.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And on top of that, even while having to be European, by the conditioning, I'm playing it out far much better than certain people who are even European at this point. Because we came from the bottom of this system, we built this system for them, and now we're running it for them.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Hey.
You get what I'm saying?
Hey, bro just said that eloquently. That's how I felt in Kenya. It was like this shit was set up by the British, and then basically the Kenyans just took the reins and called it independence, but it's like you still using the same laws the white people put in place to oppress Kenyans, and now it's Kenyans oppressing other Kenyans with the same laws that the white people started here. So yeah, you that's all facts, bro. It's like a lot of us are responsible for keeping that shit going. So at the end of the day, the blame is definitely on the people that started this situation, which is the Europeans, but we got to take accountability that some of us are helping it still be the way it is, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that's the police, the magistrates, all of the official motherfuckers in uniform who like, oh, it's just my job and this is just the law. It's like, nah, man, you think for yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're oppressing your brother, what good is this doing? You're not helping shit.
So now, one thing we have to realize, excuse me for that, I also want to, I know you resonate with this. This is why I'm talking a lot. So it's actually crazy to find someone you resonate with like this.
Yeah,
so in that sense, people want to say that somehow it's white people who started this also, but we have to realize we also added on to it. Certain people look like us. They have the avatar of being black,
spitting gems, man.
But then the program that's running here is very white.
Wolves in sheep's clothing, bro. Yeah, they look African.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I find people that I can connect with in every background, tribe, whatever it is.
That's real.
Real recognized real.
Facts, bro.
And that's what it is. It's far beyond race and stuff. But when it comes to now, obviously, a certain expression, I can only find it among certain people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially physically. So now that's where I basically, how should I say, I value my people a lot when it comes to that.
Right.
Even though I know mass majority of us,
trying not to get you in the shot.
Yeah, mass majority of us are keeping up with European.
And it's like you say, it's kind of, that's the default. You don't really know no better, because when you grow up, that's what they indoctrinate you with.
So I mean, obviously, you deem it to be right.
The things that we follow from the white, should I say, basically isn't bad. Like, law isn't bad. it protects everyone.
Yeah, the idea of law isn't
yeah.
bad.
And who does it? Who does it affect the most?
Exactly.
Is the question.
Exactly.
So I'm not
Who
saying
is
that
usually a
there's
victim of the law?
So I'm not
Like
saying
guys,
that there's no good from Europe.
Right.
There's good and bad.
Facts.
But most of the stuff that comes out there is to suppress it.
And especially most of the stuff that they introduced to us. You know what I'm saying?
Suppress our
It
stuff
wasn't for our benefit,
to
man.
put ourselves in self-destruction. Yeah. So, hey man, I don't know, but it's deep. You gotta have your own sense of discernment in this life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
So that means that whatever that nigga says is the way. It's like if I come to your store, right? It's kind of like companies, bro. Let's say you have a company, you have a company.
Nah, I got it.
You got it.
Then
Alright.
my company is, let's say, doing better than both of yours. So in the economy, how does the rule work? I come in, I buy your company, right? When I buy your company, I buy out your rules, I buy out the rest of your rights.
Yeah.
So that means that anything that you had inside, I can change.
Yeah.
And for the
Because I sold out, you
first
have
2
to.
generations, it's gonna be some kind of deformity, like yeah, niggas will rise up. But after 5 generations, bro, everything that I say goes. To a point where the rest of the people that come after you will start seeing that as normal.
Yeah,
Just the same
exactly.
way where we speak English, bro. English isn't
It's
your
not
language,
normal.
bro.
It's not
You
natural.
think in a white way, dude. You were
Yeah.
using systems that were never here. We already had math. We already had the whole growth concept. We
Had
already had-
everything, man.
You know,
And at the highest
At the
level.
highest level.
Ghana,
Because
white
it's true.
Kente, niggas have been rocking
Dude,
Kente
everybody
since,
knows shit
bruh.
is just a
Oh,
thing.
Kente cloth? Yeah, hell yeah.
Rocking Kente, bro.
So it was a power
So
show.
we're being close, bro.
No matter
So now-
how you look at
And
it,
that's why we have
all
to
of us are
acknowledge.
kind of just
That's how we have to
symptoms
So
of a
now when
dysfunctional system.
people say, okay, I don't want to go to a religious standpoint, but when most of this, but when most of these colonizers came, they came with a certain agenda, obviously, and that was obviously to forcefully put people in a certain belief system.
Did you
And-
guys watch the book of Eli?
Yeah, that was deep.
You watched it?
Yeah, that shit was deep. With
I didn't watch
That
Denzel.
is talking about
Yeah.
that
So
nigga
when they
was
came
looking
out-
for the book to
Yeah,
he wanted the book for
to
one reason.
so he could lead everybody and
So
shit.
now
Yeah.
when people say God,
It's like this how I can control everybody with this
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
so
But-
now when people say God, it means a specific type of God in a certain type of manner. Yeah, because obviously it's to put it to their benefit.
the way God was taught to us
God
by
was talked to
them.
about them.
Yeah.
You know, anyone that sets the rules can bend the rules and play accordingly towards whatever benefits them and does
And they
them.
do that
So
shit
now,
all the time.
You get what I'm saying? Why doesn't a dog worship the same God as we do? Why doesn't nature keep up with the methods that we do? It's because that is a construct that was created amongst us humans, not animals. Animals would rather die than have them being disrespected by their nature because they can't live up with certain things. The reason why we keep up with this is because we can comprehend with it to a certain extent, otherwise we'd also be gone. Hence where you found that certain
that is
people,
still
when the
not
colonizers
offensive.
came, they said, I'd rather die than be disrespected. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
A lot of us said that though. Y'all said it over here, and we, the ones of us that was taking over there, was the same shit. We
same
was
thing.
fighting the whole time.
But excuse me for putting this out there, but I feel like we are the weaklings, gents. Because
Nah, I don't think so,
To
bro.
a certain extent.
I think I know where you're going, but go ahead, go
You get what
ahead.
I'm saying?
I think I
'Cause
do.
If you go against something that goes against your nature, nah, I know. Yes, we were open-minded a little bit because we were like, well, let's give this person a chance. That's where we took on to this.
That's what you think it is?
No. Like, look, to a certain extent. But now what we're also doing is we are growing. And what do? We learn how to incorporate that. And obviously, we have an upper hand. Yeah? There's a downside and an
See,
upside. to it. At
I
the
get
start-
what you're saying.
Yeah, you get what I'm
to a
saying?
degree, they be saying
Yeah,
that about like the
yeah.
black folks in Africa. Like, oh, y'all was the ones who like, not that we didn't fight back, but it's like if y'all survived, then you know you the ones that just did whatever they told you to do. But the way I see it is like we the survivors, bro. A lot of us fought back. Like I done saw some of y'all history here. A lot of y'all was fighting back like a motherfucker. But at the end of the day, if you outgunned, which we was at the time, it's only so much you could do. And then once you see a lot of your leaders murdered and killed and tortured and all of that, I mean, not to say that you quit, but it's kind of like, man, what can I do? I kind of just got to survive and do what I can at the moment until I'm in a position where I could do more. and do what I really want to do. So I feel what you're saying,
Yeah.
but nah, man, I don't. To me, that's. And not saying you being disrespectful, but I look at that. That's almost a little disrespect to the ancestors that made it, man. Because it's like they had to survive some wild shit.
But what I'm saying is, man, since we know that obviously what people call as Africans, the genetic structure and all that stuff, it is the oldest
Facts.
On the earth.
The original man.
We're the original man.
Yes, sir.
We are man, not mankind. There's a difference. So that makes us obviously prominent in the world. So with that having to be said, there's a certain wait. There's a certain part of us. Because why? Let me tell you one thing.
Hold on, let him finish though.
This thing goes deeper, and I mean we're gonna cut you from having to do your video.
It's cool now.
So now as we go, like you know about the Moors and all that stuff.
Of course.
That took the knowledge into Europe and
to Spain.
They
They kind of fucked us up.
That's what
low-key.
I'm saying. And on top of that, they are our own people.
Yeah,
and what
man.
it is that this was already in us. This approach, it was being suppressed over time because our people also somehow were very African and loved their ways because that's all they knew.
Right.
But obviously the universe has a state of balance and whatever is happening is meant to be. I don't know. I know sometimes it was very forceful to an extent where people were being disregarded and obviously all of that, but this thing was growing deeply within
And
us.
I got touched on it, but what was your point before I say something?
I was gonna say, like, in our state of being, there's no such thing as prominence, bro. It's availability of information. Because no matter where you go, not trying to come out quote Cat Williams or anything, no matter where you go, it's human nature. Not even human nature, it's nature's basic law. Survival of the fittest. No matter where you go, bro. That's why fucking William Mammoths ain't here, bro. That's why some of the strongest bears to ever exist. That's why, dude, the most prominent apex predator that ever existed on this planet isn't here right now.
See, I gotta touch on what both of y'all said then.
Did we just finish?
Go ahead.
One,
It's a good thing we haven't.
the constant is obviously change. Two, obviously the change won't be right, but at the end of the day, if nature itself is ruthless, how do you expect humankind to escape them?
Now, to a degree, I agree with you, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of that is what we have been taught by Europeans about so-called nature and all of that. Because when you study a lot of animals and it's a lot of symbiotic relationships in nature. When you look at the way bees move, ants move, a lot of nature is cooperation, is we do for each other, which is what I see a lot in the brothers when I come over here, which is a lot of the mentality of the brothers, especially from the hood where I come from, where it's like, nigga, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine, because I might not have it today, you might not have it tomorrow, but we gonna make sure both of us can eat every day at the end of the day. So I'm more from the school of thought of that because, again, not everybody, because it is some black brothers in America, Africa, Jamaica, everywhere that don't mean you good. But at the same time, the vast majority, like we was talking about earlier, of the brothers that I run into, it don't be a lot of bullshit. It be generally like, all right, I'm gonna look out for you, I'm gonna teach you some shit, I'm gonna school you. Then some of them be trying to scam you, some of them try to get money out you and all, but the same shit happens over where I'm from, so it's not any different. But I would say the overwhelming majority of the black brothers I meet, no matter where I go in the world, they tend to have that mentality of like, we gon' help each other at the end of the day. I see more from the Europeans that selfish, what's mine is mine, I gotta get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck who I step on or hurt to get what I gotta get. I just care about it's a much more individualistic, materialistic, selfish mentality. And that, I think, is what is taught to us a lot of times. A lot of the Americans over there, and then probably some over here too.
Most of the Africans.
He say most.
Most, 75%.
Damn.
That means majority, bro. Because most of them are Christians.
Okay.
I mean, that's where you base it off of.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying, he was like, nigga, I done got free weed hella times over here, over in Jamaica. I done had motherfuckers feed me who never met me in Ethiopia all the time. Like, that reminded me of the people I know from the crib. But when I've traveled in white countries, it don't really be like that over there. It's much more of a cold, like we was talking about the Asian culture earlier. I almost would say Asians might be a little colder than the white people sometimes.
They are.
I mean, just my experience. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, I'd rather mix with Europeans.
Got some of them.
I'm not saying, excuse me, water. So, I'm not saying that anyone is colder than anyone, but if I look at Asians, they look very much more detached from reality. From my standpoint of view as an African, and with what we go with, they look very detached.
And again, we speak in generalizations because we know it's billions of Asians, and it's a whole bunch of different countries and cultures in Asia. But I agree with the brother. The majority of them I met, I say with the exception of, I met a chick from Thailand that was like real warm as soon as I met her, real cool, personable.
You find cool people everywhere.
But I even dated a Chinese girl that was like, something's wrong here. Like this girl, her sense of humor is a little off. Like it was a big disconnect. And I remember every time she would get passionate about some shit, she would imitate black women. She would talk in this like black woman accent to show, I don't know, like just anytime she wanted to speak up and be kind of bold. And that taught me like this must not be in her culture for the women to even do that. To like voice their opinion and be bold and outspoken like that. So no, I agree, bro. I went to school with a couple, I dated one, and generally speaking, y'all be a little rigid and uptight and kind of cold sometimes, man. The white people the closest to that in my experience. But the black and brown people be a lot more welcoming, invite, even like Mexicans, Hispanics, black
Mixes,
people. Yeah, man. Last thing I'm gonna touch on what you said. It's interesting what you said about like everything happened for a reason and the separation and all that. Cause I believe it's the Nation of Islam where they believe basically that white people was like albinos that got rejected from Africa. Then they all moved to Europe. They were separated by the Ice Age for thousands of years, and that's when all the changes started. Because then they started having to hunt animals and live in cages, and they stopped being people of the sun like black people are. Instead, they was people of the ice and the snow, and that just changes your mentality. Because think about it, if you living in an area like this where things grow in abundance, and these brothers know firsthand, because these is agricultural scientists right here, so they know just as good as me, if not more. One person can plant enough to feed probably the whole block, definitely the whole house. So let alone if all of us is planting something, it ain't no lack. It's abundance in this world. God made way more than we could ever use if we live the way we supposed to. But according to that European mentality of scarcity, it's like, nah, I just got to get mine and fuck everybody else, because they lived in that situation for so long where they had to hunt animals. They couldn't just go pick fruit off the tree, and it wasn't abundance like that. So they got used to it. Nah, I appreciate you, bro. So yeah, man, what we talking about is deep, but we'll talk about this shit all day, man. These some of the brothers I've been building with.
We gotta plan some other
But I'm glad I met brothers like you out here, man, because I have a lot of these conversations, especially in like South Africa, Namibia, certain places more than others. But I want y'all to see that this is on their minds too, man, because I have similar conversations with the brothers over there all the time. The enlightened, intelligent brothers, you know what I'm saying? Because then it do be brothers like we was talking about that's like, they so stuck in the brainwashing, they can't see nothing else. They just, I got to get $1.
They be like, nah, bro, we living good.
Yeah, man,
clothes,
and don't even realize. All right, so I'm gonna end it there, man. But that was a nice little build we was doing, man. Much love to all the brothers for y'all insight and input. Yeah, so I'm up in here in Zoo Park with the bros again, and I noticed something every time I come here. It's some graffiti on the back of this monument. So I asked the brothers what it is. And what did you say this is?
This is a German colonial marker that they leave everywhere they colonized. So this is basically having to say that they left this marker when they took it from the Vet Boys. And this was in 1983 to 1994.
Okay.
So that's when the genocide and all that stuff happening.
So now it makes sense to me. And y'all, let's see when I show the other side, because I thought this was like, I didn't know if this was a monument to somebody who died or something, but now seeing this a monument to the colonizers.
Since you know, obviously the eagle
sitting
on top of the globe, that basically obviously symbolizes that they've conquered this part of the continent.
That's crazy. So let me show y'all the other side. This was on the other side. This is the side I've seen every time I walk through the park. And I was like, damn, who they want to rest in hell? But now I get it, man. Like,
Yeah, it's just some of the pissed citizens, man. But hey, it's wild, bruh.
the Germans don't have
This
no
some-
business leaving
This
nothing
some
like this
deep
in here,
German,
man.
This was
Yeah.
when 1890 what? 1893, man. Yeah, to 1894.
And it's something I love, man, as a gardener. I peep when
Bruh,
Lino peep.
the
Look
only
at the
thing,
leaves.
the only thing I'm noticing here is this beautiful.
I saw the leaves when I turned, like,
Oh.
wait a minute, I know that. And you see right there, it's a
I
fresh
think,
melon
oh
going,
shit,
man. You ain't
bruh.
see that? You ain't see that?
I think we need to start giving this one wood vinegar, bruh. Just on the low, bruh.
Hey, they got a lemon.
Right.
Watermelon.
It's a little
Yeah,
melon
wood
in
vinegar,
there.
bruh. I mean, no one's really taking care of it, so we might as well.
Bro
So
said
somehow
this
I
all
have
the
a better-
Germans that you say they was
Commanders.
the German commanders. And I ain't even see this ad. Fuck
Father,
Germany.
This is basically the year he basically, all of them.
Oh,
what the
did?
years- Yeah.
Yo,
Hey, well,
R.I.P. my niggas.
shout out to the graffiti artists.
I'm sorry about the past, but now
Yeah.
we are all together,
I
Germans
know.
and Namibians in harmony.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know
but-
about all
Us.
that. Because I see a lot of things still being played
You know
out.
what I'm
bro.
saying? Real
All
shit, real shit.
73% still being owned by them.
I was about to say, the
that's
majority of the
crazy, bro.
land is still
And
owned by
that's
these
43% of them that own that land, James. So, yeah, we're still being colonized.
Yeah.